Your perfect life is just 12 months away. The problem is you've got no time, no money, and you feel overwhelmed about getting started because you just don't know where to start. Well, partnerships can change all that. In fact, this is the exact partnership formula my mentees have used to build 6- and 7-figure rent-to-rent businesses with no money, no time, and no knowledge. So if that sounds good, this could be the video that just brings your financial freedom day way forward. Partners can be a really effective way to fast track your goals. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 most important partners you're going to need to build this property empire. But before I do, I want to share with you some key principles that I've learned in my partnerships. The first key principle is it's got to be somebody with complementary skills. So what I mean by that is the last thing you want to do if your bottleneck is you've got money but you've got no time, the last thing you want to do is then partner with somebody that's also got money but no time. So the idea is you bring different things to the party, and that is why it's going to push things forward, okay? So that is the first most important thing. Also, when you're looking into partners, sometimes, sadly, they just won't be able to bring a lot to the table. Once again, not a good partner choice. You shouldn't just partner with somebody because they're your mate or because you went to school with them or because they've kind of been interested in this property thing too. You need to add value, otherwise you'll regret it later. The second key principle is there's got to be a bit of a culture fit. It's got to be someone you get on with. Got to be somebody that, you know, you think alike. You've got the same vision for the goal or the business, because if you're not aligned in that culture or fit, you'll come unstuck later. And last but not least, a massive one, try to think long term before engaging in partnerships, because the last thing you want to do is get 9 months into a relationship, you've put things in place, and then you don't think it's a good fit or you fall out. So you've really got to look at what partners you can do long term before fully getting into bed with somebody. However, if you're not 100% sure, the best thing to do is just to do it on a 1 project basis, test it out first, and if it feels good, then move on. So the 3 key partners, let's jump into partner number 1. So the first power partner I want to share with you is somebody with money. This is going to be especially useful if you are struggling for finances right now, or maybe it's going to take you a long period of time to save up, right? Now, disclaimer, if you've got money and they've got money and neither of you have got time, that's not a good fit, right? So you want to try and avoid that wherever possible. We're looking for, remember, complementary skill sets. However, let's use an example. Let's say in 2 years' time, you're coming in some money, all right? For whatever reason, you're expecting at this point, you're going to have 40K to invest. Now, you could just wait 2 years, or what you could do, and this is what I'd highly recommend doing, is you just get somebody in now that could invest cash into the property. Let's say they got 20K. And what that's going to mean is you can now get started right now rather than waiting, because this whole video is about how do we stop waiting and push our goal sooner. So I speak to so many people who financially disqualify themselves from building this business, building cash flow, because it's a timing thing. So think out the box. Think, who do you know that you might be able to partner with that's a good fit? Okay, you've got complementary skills because you've got time, say, they've got money, and that way we can push things forward. Because here's the thing, if this person has no time, okay, they're going to be more than happy to invest money with you to fast track that journey. The second power partner is somebody with a lot of time. They're really time rich. So say, for example, you're sat there, you've got money. Money's not the issue, but for you, it's time. And a lot of the time, what I will see, once again, is going to be a timeline thing. It's like, you know, you've set maybe a 3-year goal that you want to maybe get to 5K per month. But the problem you've got is you've got a 9 to 5, you travel a lot, you've got kids. So you can't commit successfully to putting the time in. And the big problem with that is, once again, it's going to take far too long. So let's suppose you have a little bit of money but no time. Why don't you just find a partner who has got loads of time? And then what you can do is you can actually provide the funds. Remember, complement your skill set. So now this person can work to actually get you to this goal sooner, because it should not take you 3 years to build 5K. Once again, this is going to mean that you can reach your goal way faster, and it's a really, really good way of you partnering with somebody to leverage each other's skill set. Now, how would you do it with somebody like that? Well, a really good way of doing it is, if somebody is going to source a property, you just split it in. The person puts the time in, you put the money in, and then you can do a 50-50 split. Is the simplest way of doing it. Remember, I wouldn't necessarily set up a limited company. I would just do one deal initially as a test. But once again, remember the initial principles. There's got to be trust. There's got to be a fit, complement your skill set, and you would need the right partner paperwork as well, disclaimer. And last but not least, the third partner that's absolutely essential in rent to rent is going to be knowledge. Somebody that's done what you want to do, like me, huh? And I will never forget this. This was a really, really inspirational story, true story. And I love to share it on this drift model. And essentially, I spoke to a mentee of mine, and they had a 3-year plan. So in 3 years, they had the goal of hitting 8K per month, right? That was their big goal. And their fear was that if they carried on as they were, they would be on 0, okay? They'd make no change. And what we did was, we knew that in order for them to achieve this goal, we'd need them to stay on this green line, right? Because that is one of the big challenges. Success and failure does not happen overnight. It is a gradual curve. And they've been trying for a while. They've been looking into this. And they said to me, listen, Simon, we want to get to 8K in 3 years. And through me building a custom roadmap for them and working really closely with them, we didn't take, 3 years to hit that goal. We went and did it in 6 months, and we far surpassed that. So that is the power of knowledge, whether that be a mentor, a mastermind, just going through the resources in the way that you need to. So the final partner is, do not be afraid to invest in yourself, because the knowledge, okay, could be the key thing to get you to that goal. And think about it, guys. If you achieve this in 6 months rather than 3 years, you now have, okay, a whopping 30 months. And if that's 8K, 30 times 8 is a lot of money, okay? 860 is £240,000. So sure, they invested in me helping them, but I can tell you now, their return on investment was unbelievable.